family. My name is Vicki Dillard, and thank you so much for tuning into my personal channel here at VickiDillard.tv. Just want to tap in with you really quick. First of all, to say thank you for the extraordinary response to my free offering that I provided to the public um, a week or so ago, week and a half ago or so. Um, Called Bloodlines and Trade Lines, beloved. Of course, I had that download some time back. I put it, some of those principles for the sacred goddess in my last magazine called Venus, luxury magazine for the everyday woman. So I talked about some of those principles specific to the feminine, but I did, are y'all ready? A 4-hour free offering for the public some days back, and boy, did you all show up and show out, and the testimonies have been rolling in. Absolutely extraordinary, the revelations that I gave, connecting the dots as it relates to this new economy literally being created by us out of thin air using supernatural revelations and insight. Yes. So I made that available to the public. I want you to know I've got several things that's going on, but I wanted to tap in with you really quick to say that my high-end elite men's only 60-day school is about to start. It's called Treasures of Darkness. We're going to pin the website link below so that you can look through that to learn more. And for some of you all, we will be taking some installment plans. For my ladies, I have a women's only. That's a 90-day course, Sacred Goddess Secrets, called Isis Goddess Mystery Temple Gold Tier. It's called Gold Tier because I've done it in the past for my divine feminine women, and boy, have the lives been changed, baby. You cannot, it's real when you know that your goddesses give testimonies because they're having visions and dreams, and her energy has changed to begin to magnetize a life that she could not have imagined before. Well, we're going further this time. So the most coveted sacred goddess secrets are going to be discussed there. There are going to be installment options for those of you that need those as well at checkout. So again, the link is going to be below for my website so that you can learn more. Your life will never be the same. If you don't understand this by now, you'll never get it. There is a changing of the gods and there's a changing of the goddesses. Everything as we know it is drastically shifting and changing. My courses are an answer to the global problems, interdimensional problems. Yes, I say it with all out boldness. Why? Because when I was a young girl, the supernatural experience that I had when I was given directions from covert ancient matriarchal authorities to let me know some of the assignment that I would have as an adult woman. And of course, that assignment has only been clarified and further understood as the many years and decades have passed by. And I'm telling you, we're in the fullness of time for those things to manifest, and the powers that shouldn't be are absolutely no match for our ancestral. I'm talking about in multiple dimension ancestors, beloved. So if you want to understand what that's about, if you want to change your world and change the world, beloved, you would be wise to make the investment today. If you want something you never had, you've got to do something you've never done. You got to bust to move. We're not getting any younger, and it's time for us to do something very extraordinary because we want to leave a legacy that absolutely cannot be erased. Be sure to click down below. Family, I just wanted to briefly discuss something with you today. How many of you all have been hearing about back-to-back incidents of prominent politicos, talking heads, politicians, and other prominent Indian voices, most of which tend to be conservatives that are receiving unbelievable anti-Indian racist backlash, mostly from the Conservative Party, of which most of them associates themselves. This is a piece from recently from CNN. You can see this headline there. Can you see it? Recent. I've talked about this on other platforms that I'm on, like African Diaspora News channel, not on their YouTube channel, but of course some of my content is up on their app, and you can download African Diaspora News channel app on all the major app places. Yes. Well, anyway, family, your girl brains, let me get this hair together, baby. Watch this. Listen to a little bit of this. It says racists are now openly targeting Indian Americans. Last month, FBI Director Kash Patel wished his followers on X a happy Diwali. It did not go over well. Far-right Christian nationalists and white nationalist accounts flooded his post with bigoted memes and rhetoric. Quote, "Go back home and worship your sand demons," a far-right pastor wrote. "Get the F out of my country," read another reply. Said another, "This is America. We don't do this." These responses, some of which were seen millions of times, were on the tamer end of the spectrum. Similar hostility followed Diwali greetings on X from former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, former presidential candidate. Y'all remember her, Indian lady. Uh, it says UN, former UN ambassador, but she was also a former candidate too. But anyway, she was also the governor, a governor at one time too. But anyway, her latest position was a former UN ambassador. Former presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, y'all remember him, right? And Assistant Attorney General and Civil Rights Harmit Dillon, as well as posts from the holiday, as well as posts about the holiday from the White House, the State Department, Texas Governor Greg Abbott, and Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Some Indian American conservatives seem shocked that segments of the political right are now taking aim at them. When Democrats won big on election night, Ramaswamy advised Republicans to cut out the identity politics, saying, "We don't care about the color of your skin or your religion. We care about the content of your character." After one ex-user said that the existence of Indians disgusted them, Dinesh D'Souza, the right-wing commentator who has peddled racism against Black Americans for decades, mused, quote, "In a career spanning 40 years, I have never encountered this type of rhetoric. The right never used to talk like this. So who on our side has legitimized this type of vile degradation?" Now, first of all, let me say something to Indian Americans, Indian migrants, Indian immigrants. First of all, the biggest issue with you is not that you chose conservatism and the MAGA group. Your biggest issue is your deep disrespect and arrogance of Black Americans, because if you listen to those of us who are the most patriotic of them all, because we've endured more than anybody, and we created the United States, meaning we manifested it, because white folks can do it. That's why they used us, our genius, to bring it into existence. We did what they could not. But how dare you come to this country legally or illegally? Listen to this real closely, because I'm afraid that you might miss the profundity of what I'm about to say. Come here real close to the screen. How dare you come to this country and think you're going to side openly with our enemy? Are y'all listening? And think that you actually know better than Black Americans. You thought that you figured out a system that one-upped us, and that we just didn't know our place in American society. We just didn't know how to figure out success, even though the country that you fled to was built by us, created by us, brought into existence by us, sustained by us, maintained by us. The biggest mishap of them all is you actually thought you knew better than us. There's many of you all, including the FBI director, Kash Patel, they call him, should I even say it? What is it? Child, a cockeyed. Child, I saw a video, they was calling him a cockeyed something. And these are, once again, were right-wing folks, because they was like, they said he got a girlfriend, but he be sleeping in the big old castle mansion with a, I don't know, white rich mansion. I don't know. People are saying it's suspicious. Child, after he claimed that he was fixing to go deep on the deep state, then he was back in the restrictions on the Epstein release. After first saying that the previous administration was covering up stuff with the Epstein, they got in there and flipped the script. They know that MAGA is dumb. They treat y'all like y'all dumb. And I guess they turn around and get back in y'all's face too. But Dinesh D'Souza, I'm going to say this real quick, family. I won't be long, but I will be strong. Dinesh D'Souza, the one that's acting so shocked after 40 years. Let me show y'all this clip. This clip is under the Copyright Act of 1979. Me playing this. Let me see if I can find. Is this him? Where he's acting so shocked. Y'all give me a second. Let me get this right.
shocking racist abuse from within his own political circle.
I'm not sure how he's that confused, though. Y'all listen. Let me see if I can find this clip. Is this it? I don't think so. Let me see. I wanted you all to actually see him acting real shocked that they did him like this. Is this it? Let me see if I can find a clip. I thought I had it. Okay, here it is.
Right and articulate.
Not Dinesh D'Souza, but Vivek Ramaswamy. Remember when he was running, how Laura Ingraham humiliated him to his face? Not Laura Ingraham and Coulter. They all forgettable. But that's who it is. That's Ann. Y'all listen to her. This is how she did him to his face.
You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. Can't say that about them. That's true. You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. Can't say that about them. That's derogatory. And that was a great opening segment. Lots of things to talk about there. Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian.
It's got to be exhausting.
I saw this clip. I got that particular clip from this where it says CJ Perspective. That was the easiest one to pull up when I was looking for it. This white woman told him to his face why she wouldn't vote for him, because you're Indian. Now, Indian folks that's come here, like Vivek Ramaswamy, which some folks said that the way he made his money was suspect. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything true to that, but they are saying that his stuff is suspect. So some of these Indian migrants, as well as some of the other different migrants from different backgrounds, some of you all do what you do because you're worried about your paperwork, your visas. Some of you all are worried about certain positions and stuff that you're in because there are formal and informal agreements that some of you all made behind the scenes with certain folks. So you're willing to risk disrespecting black folks. You all feel comfortable living your life, feeling like we would never do nothing to you. But you act like you're walking on eggshells when white folks humiliate you over and over and over again to your face, spit in your face publicly, and tell you everything you say is in agreement with what I do, but I still won't vote with you because you're Indian. Then they mock your religions, they mock your spiritual systems because they're quote unquote mostly not Christian, which Christianity in many senses are diabolical and satanic, no matter what black folks is saying about it. I know all about that because I was raised deep and heavy in it. And when you steal your ancient spiritual systems from your ancient cosmic matrilineal mothers, you cannot act like you can just clean it up and no matter what white folks do. But that ain't what I'm saying with it. Yes, it is what you're saying with it. You're giving energy to a particular thing. Everything that they're experiencing is absolutely knowable because it's our story. And we said it over and over again. And most importantly, you all attacked us for it. Yes? Now, when we look at Indian Americans, like the one on this post here, can I turn it this way? No. With Dinesh D'Souza, that's one of the other ones. Look at his picture, because I want y'all to know who I'm talking about. This is Dinesh D'Souza, the one that I first quoted that said he'd been doing this for 40 years and they came out with extreme racism against him. What's a little bit of his history? Dinesh D'Souza is said to be a conservative commentator and filmmaker, right? He makes documentaries and all this other kind of stuff. He has a long history of making anti-black statements in particular. Just a few examples here, and you can easily find this information. Y'all, in 1995 book called The End of Racism, in his book, D'Souza argued that, quote, exaggerated claims of racism were hindering African-American progress. He claimed that the American slave was treated like property, which is to say, pretty well. You don't take your funny looking self and go you get what you put out. And he felt comfortable saying that and making a career. He felt comfortable walking down the street and living his life, not fearing that any black person would put him in his place. It says the book faced intense backlash, with one reviewer calling it encyclopedic pseudoscience and so egregious an affront to human decency as to set a new and sorry standard for an intellectual. Not only that, y'all, other things he's done is like urban plantation analogy. D'Souza has compared a U.S. governed by Democrats to an urban plantation, suggesting that Democratic policies keep African Americans poor, which we all know that, and that's true in some sense. But he specifically called that out, feeling comfortable so that black folks will flee from the Democrat Party. But he did that, feeling comfortable, once again, using that plantation analogy as an Indian man. Yes. It talks about how Barack Obama, he's frequently targeted former President Barack Obama with racially charged language. He once described him as living out his father's dream as a philandering, inebriated African socialist. Ain't that something? Y'all know I'm no fan of Obama, but I'm just saying this Indian man did that. It says about him blaming black nationalism for white nationalism. D'Souza claimed that black and Latino nationalism are likely to cause a resurgence of white nationalism, a view that was widely criticized by historians and commentators. He got a hell of a nerve, doesn't he? And of course, it just says general anti-blackness. Critics argue that D'Souza has used anti-blackness as a way to prop himself up within conservative circles, leveraging his Indian American identity to provide cover for the Republican Party against accusations of racism. You all know that I'm very fair about racism, and I call both sides out for it. But baby, you get what you get, sir. And how dare Indian Americans come to this country, be in this country, and feel so comfortable disrespecting Black Americans and act shocked, like all of the different ones that I named and so many others, that white folks are turning against you. It's to show that you are completely ignorant and you were willing to literally sell your soul for a little position. And because it worked for you for so long, I know it looks like you thought you was on to something. I knew you thought that you had figured it out. And you thought that you was going to wag your finger in the face of Black Americans and tell us what to do until you're humiliated. And in one day, your career and your reputation seems to be falling down. That's what you get. And I'm certainly not justifying such things, but I'm just saying that you get what you get when you disrespect Black Americans. And white folks constantly show you their nature. And they tell you to your face, once we're through using you, we will throw you down the trash. Now that we know who they are, and we've always known, the question is, who are you? And what does it say about you now? I'm going to be discussing this and so much more, family. Pretty soon, be sure to go to my website. You can join my monthly mastermind for a very low cost. Signs and wonders and miracles are always taking place in the lives of my students. They get so many yummy benefits. They get regular live lectures from me and so many others. Learn more at VickiPlanet.com, my website. Also, beloved, I'm so excited because I'm getting ready to roll out Vicki Dillard Immortalized. My 2026 calendar is going to be so yummy, so sexy, so spiritual, so glorious. Beloved, you're going to be seeing the pre-sales available. This is going to be available for both my men and my women. Yes, it's going to be so yummy. It's going to be a pictorial calendar. I still plan on doing my angel calendar in the early part of the year. We're going to make it to where you can buy the angel calendar throughout the year, to where so that the dates aren't confusing anybody and that the information is there. But the first one, be sure to go to the community page and be sure to check the link below. By the time that you're watching this, within 24 hours, you should see the link coming up soon. I can't wait to see you again.